Now they try the right side here. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Trying to lay one up deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Here comes the Saints punter now. Back deep, Danny Amendola. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Hey, go here!
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Being chased out left. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They give them 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
To throw is Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Yeah, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. Now a handoff. Johnson down to the 25. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. Back-to-back one-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down.
21.
Stafford. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Alshon Jeffrey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point up and through. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Gone!
3rd and long for Mayfield. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Johnson. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. The Panthers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. But they face a second and long to start things out. They pitch it out to Johnson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Throwing on third and long. Stafford. Amendola catching it left side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's fourth down. They run. It's Johnson. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. David Johnson denied here on the fourth down run. And the Saints will have the football back. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Mayfield on play action. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Mayfield off the play fake. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. First down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Mayfield now on 2nd down. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And Hill running right through it. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On 2nd down, Mayfield again. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing.
And got his man complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well. So now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football. taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
A gain of 3, second down. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
The Panthers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing is Stafford. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Here we go.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Michael Brocker's in on the stop.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Here's Stafford. And he's taken down here by the Saints. David Bass. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
All right, here we go.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Ball going deep here for Taylor. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. He was trying to get it to Taywan Taylor. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he has landed on hard. Jeremiah Tauchu in there to sack him for a loss of 6. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Panthers on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Lucky 56.
They go play action. Mayfield fighting through pressure. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They go to Johnson again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Here's Johnson. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Play fake. Mayfield. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 2nd down, Mayfield. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball. And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out.
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Derek Wolfe. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. And Boswell's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. The Panthers on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. On the toss, here's Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Caught by Jones. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long.
Detroit! Gone!
Mayfield now from the 50. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All right, here we go.
Now it's the backup Simeon. Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Dumping it off for Johnson. Finding room at the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Johnson takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They try the left side with Johnson. Always got some breathing room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 31 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll take this one down near the 15. On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is indeed good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, push their backs clearly against the wall.
Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing, Mayfield. He's going to air one out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up.
And that's caught inside the 35. And finally out of bounds just inside the 10. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Mayfield to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll. Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before, getting his feet down. What'd you say?
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Boswell good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run it with Johnson. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Throwing here, Stafford. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Give me radar. 50 seconds to the right. Rerun.
Stafford now to throw. He finds his man, Baldwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A toss, left side, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Again, it's Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. On 3rd down, Johnson. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Panthers, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
you.